It's the weekend and our faves are still hot messes. It's time to talk about it.
Give me your wigs. You don't know what to do with it. Give me your wig. Give me your wig.
So as usual, before we go any further, if you haven't signed up to patreon.com/AdrianExpression, I highly suggest that you do so. Thank you to every member of the Adrian Army who went over there and signed up just this past week. There's been a whole bunch of cool shit being posted on there. First of all, the latest episode of my podcast is up there. The episode is entitled 2020 is Already Trifling. I also put up an article that I'm very proud of, actually, and it's called This Isn't Middle School Anymore. If you can't take the dragging, don't be a homophobic bigot. And during the first week of February, I'll be picking a random patron to shout out. That's the patron spotlight. They will introduce themselves to us and show off their work, their accomplishments, their passions, their art, whatever it is. Very, very excited for all the new shit and awesome shit going on over there. Check it out. So let's start out with some funny news. Apparently this man came forward and tried to rob a bank. Now, I don't know if he was trying to convince himself or the bank's teller that he was Denzel Washington or Idris Elba or whatever, but what I can tell you is that he did not convince the police, because the police said, girl, we're looking for a white man who was covered in paint, girl. They said, we know a nigga when we see one. And they said, that's not you, you ain't on the menu. NBC News said the suspect robbed a PNC bank in Perryville, Maryland, a town about 40 miles northeast of Baltimore near the Delaware and Pennsylvania borders, girl. I don't know what to tell him. All I know is that if you don't mess with those genes, if you can't go back in time and make the DNA sequences look a little bit different, you ain't passing nobody black man, girl. Get your weak ass out of here. So some really cute news. Ciara and Russell Wilson made their announcement that they're going to be welcoming in their third child into the family, and they posted all these cute pictures. We love to see it. Their first child, you know, is Future. Second child is Sienna Princess Wilson. She was born in 2017. And so this is going to be a third kid. So congrats to you all. Ciara is literally living her best life, and I would like to see it. Ciara, please unblock me. I'm so sorry. I apologize, girl. Please unblock me. And since we're speaking of the music industry, your faves are getting exposed. Your faves are getting exposed. Okay, so the first one is Mase versus Diddy. Okay, so this bad boy artist, he went up and said, you know what, now it's time to drag, because I've been seeing, he posts a lot of stuff on Instagram. He said, you know, I seen that your ass is over here talking at the Grammys, talking about, oh yeah, we're for the artists and artists need to take back control. And I made the note, I'm just like, I seen a lot of you whack ass niggas at the Rock Nation brunch talking about, oh, we gotta stick together, black unity, black excellence. Meanwhile, a lot of these music exec built ass niggas are running plantations of their own. It's just like, girl, we see right through that shit. So Mase posted this whole thing on social media basically calling P. Diddy out, and it's just like, you know, based off of all of the reporting and the rumors that we have heard over the span of many years, this is not surprising. Like, all of the ways that P. Diddy and others have taken advantage of the artists that work under them is absolutely insane. So one of the highlights of this paragraph that he posted was the fact that when Mase was like 24, he sold his publishing or whatever it is to Diddy for like $20K, like $20,000. And Mase was like, okay, whatever, like you dragged the shit out of me, you took advantage, whatever. But the fact that I offered you $2 million a couple days ago to buy back my motherfucking shit, and you said, well, girl, no, man, if you can outbid this European guy, if you can outbid this European businessman, then maybe I'll, you know, talk about giving it back to you. But other than that, P. Diddy said, girl, good riddance. So it's just crazy for people, and Diddy's not the only one, but he's a very, there are many stories about him. They will really put on this front, talk about, oh yeah, we gotta stick together, black unity, all this shit, come together, kumbaya. And yet they're fucking over their black artists, and they're taking advantage of younger artists. I'm glad that he's getting dragged, and I hope that more and more artists come out and start to expose these motherfuckers for who they actually are. It really makes no sense for y'all whole names, your whole businesses and labels to be resting on the creativity and work ethic of these artists, and then y'all mistreat them in these types of ways. It's horrible. So I hope more and more people come out and say that shit. Also in the news, Khalees came out and said, hey girl, y'all fade Pharrell, he's not really that girl. So that, you know, she did an interview with The Guardian basically saying, all right, this shit, everything that glitters ain't gold. She said the Neptunes, and that's Pharrell and Chad Hugo, they fully produced both of her first two albums. I think they came out in 1999 and 2001. She said she considered these motherfuckers friends, and she thought it was a safe space, a creative artistic space. They said they were gonna split the profits 3 ways, and that did not end up happening. She said she didn't see any profits from her first 2 albums, which to me is just like, whoa! And she said the reason she did not notice that there were no profits coming in from her album was just because she was touring, and that's how she was making her money. And she did say, like, yeah, I was too young and too stupid to double check and really see what was going on in these contracts. But she was just like, I considered these people friends. And even when she brought it up, their argument was, well, you signed it, like you signed the contract, you should have read it. She said she saw Pharrell performing at this industry event, and he kind of nodded to her, and she was just like, okay, whatever, but like, nigga, you stole all my publishing. And of course, I'm not saying that there's no responsibility that the artists have to be reading their contracts, but the fact of the matter is that some of these executives and these black executives working with black artists are so much older than these young new artists, and you would think that it would be in their spirit to protect these artists. I'm not saying don't make your money, but damn, protect the artists, protect the young talent. But no, like, y'all are taking advantage of niggas. It doesn't make sense. And then they will be at these brunches, they will be at these award shows talking about, oh, we gotta stick together. Like, okay, so practice what you motherfucking preach then. Why are your artists starving? Get y'all shit together. So it is Super Bowl weekend, and that means that Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, oh shit, hold on, I think I might have gotten the wrong picture. All right, Shakira and Jennifer Lopez are gonna be performing, and I've seen that there's a lot of shade being thrown at Shakira. I'm just like, please put some respect on Shakira's name. I saw one post on, oh, Jennifer Lopez is too big to share the stage with Shakira. Girl, Shakira is world motherfucking wide. I hope y'all ain't talking about Chanta, hey Shakira. I hope you're not talking about Hips Don't Lie, Shakira. Hope you ain't talking about Waka Waka, Shakira, because that girl and sis can hit the motherfucking stage and give you a performance. So, like, let's not do this. And sis, especially outside of the United States, is banging on motherfucking doors and leaving you girls wanting. We gonna see what they bring to the Super Bowl, girl. Y'all already know that I'm like many other gays. I'm not watching these men throw around no ball like that. It's not really giving me too much life. I'm going to see what the girls are offering us during this performance, and then I'm turning that shit off, okay? So I haven't really heard of this YouTuber before I saw what was going on with him and Katie Hopkins, right? But this YouTuber named Josh Peters, I think is his name. Hopefully that's how you pronounce his last name. He flew Katie Hopkins out to Prague to accept a fake award. And let me tell you something. The award was called the Campaign to Unify the Nation Trophy, okay? This was how it was abbreviated. When I tell you I saw this picture and I laughed so hard that I said, you know what, let me check to see if this is actually real or if people didn't Photoshop this. This was a real thing. I watched this video. I mean, they planned it out. They got a whole thing at the Four Seasons. They hired actors. Like, they set it up and they flew her out, made her feel real comfortable. And it's just like, when she went up there to accept that fake award, it was just the racism spewed out, the bigotry spewed out. It was absolutely mind-boggling, but there's nothing to me that was funnier today than seeing this shit. And some people may argue like, okay, well, you flew her ass out, you flew Katie Hopkins out, you made her feel real comfortable in a hotel and gave her meals and shit. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, you have a point, but god damn, this shit is funny. It's funny, girl. And she really went up there because don't nobody give her shit. She went up there to accept that little ass job, wouldn't even do research on the organization that's offering her this award. But Katie, I just seen that your Twitter account got suspended. I just want to let you know that I was going to say that if you cloned yourself, there would be 2 beaks instead of 1. There would be 2 beaks roaming through the air, and it would give new meaning to the phrase 2 birds with 1 stone. But I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. Get out my face, Katie Hopkins! So let's switch over to the TV/movie industry. Sebastian Stan, the guy who plays Bucky Barnes, you know, Captain America's best friend, he put this on his Instagram, basically calling out the end of Endgame. Here we have a picture of Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes together with the caption, "Together until the end of time." And Miss Nina said, "Together until the end of the line, or until bad, inconsistent, out of character writing turns Steve Rogers into his own antithesis. Shouldn't it be together until the end of the line now?" I thought that was a good point. People can get pressed about it, but I thought it was a good point. I'm glad these motherfuckers are calling out these writers, and John Boyega was like, "Yes, welcome," with this Palpatine ass gif. I love it. But I mean, I think he's right though. It's just like, first of all, Steve Rogers gives me very much goody two shoes tease, very Boy Scout, gives me Superman tease with the way that, you know, just the way that he thinks. And so I don't think he would just abandon everybody and just go back for Peggy or whoever. And then time travel is already difficult to deal with as a plot device anyway. You know what I mean? But him going back would have changed everything. It's just, he wouldn't be in the same reality. Like they're really muddy with the rules of that shit. Also, as much as I love Miss Falcon girl, I think Bucky should have got the damn shield, no shade, and all of Twitter was with him. Like I said, some people might be angry, but it's just like, just get your shit right. Just call them out so we won't have to suffer through any more badass writing. I mean, from Star Wars to that part of Endgame, I thought they ended the Marvel movies pretty well, but that part was definitely, I'm like, okay girl. Switching over to DC, the critics and many members of the press got a chance to screen Birds of Prey, the new movie coming out on 7th. It's going to, apparently from what they're saying, it's going to be amazing. Now, this is very important just because of the Suicide Squad thing that went on. It's just like, all right. But they're saying it gives them very, like the humor gives them very much Deadpool, the action gives them John Wick. They were saying that the action scenes were outstanding, the characters were great. So it just gives me hope. I'm just like, DC, please get your shit together. And while the fanboys over here complaining about, oh, we don't see enough titties, Harley Quinn is not sexual enough, oh my god, what happened to the sex appeal? The movie's apparently really cool, so if you're wondering about that, don't worry about what these tired ass men are saying. As usual, what do we do? Like Lady Olenna said, she'd been surrounded by men, and the reason that she had outlived them all was because she ignored them all. Okay, so what we gonna do with tired ass, trash ass men? We ignore what they say, and we just go make decisions for our goddamn selves. And that's it. And let's end this video on a good note. And I took some notes on this. Matthew A. Cherry, Dwayne Wade, and Gabrielle Union have invited DeAndre Arnold to the Oscars. If you don't remember, DeAndre Arnold's school, and it's been so ironic that the name of the school is Barbers Hill High School. It's in Texas. They suspended him and said he would not be allowed to walk for his graduation because of the length of his locks, of his hair. Matthew A. Cherry, the name I mentioned in the beginning of this, he is a former NFL player, and he is the director of Hair Love, which follows a black father who is styling his young daughter's hair for the first time. CBS says former NFL player Matthew A. Cherry wants his Oscar-nominated short film Hair Love to help normalize natural hair. He says he was inspired to make the film after seeing viral videos of African-American dads combing their daughter's hair. And it's really amazing that they're doing this. I think Ellen also gave him like a $20,000 scholarship. The support that he's getting, I'm hoping, will just overpower any of the bullshit that school district tried to put him through. The fact that I know that there's so many other girls who are not black who have long ass hair and they're going to be allowed to walk, and they're just targeting his ass, tells me all I need to know about the decision making behind that stupid ass choice that they made. And people may be arguing, well girl, it's not that big of a deal, just cut your hair. Girl, do you know how long it took for his ass to grow that fucking hair? Number one. Number two, that's not the point. The point is you educated this man, he achieved the grades that he needed to get. He should be able to get his goddamn degree like everybody else, regardless of what's going on with his hair. And if you ain't fucking cutting off the rest of these girls and boys' hair who ain't black, he should be able to walk, get up there, get his fucking diploma, sit his ass the fuck down. Y'all really love to police black people, black hair, black, you know what I mean? And then it's just crazy how it's policed and demonized, and people can't get their fucking diplomas, and people can't get jobs and shit. But the minute it's copied and pasted onto a body that is not black, it's just like, oh my God, praise and worship. So yeah, I'm glad he's getting the support, and to me this sends a strong ass message out to everyone who needs to hear it. On that note, thank you all so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and check out my Patreon. I love you all so much, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.